Well, hi there. Welcome to Adventures with ADHD. My name's Polly Parton, cousin of you know who. And today, my wonderful friend Suzy Payton has asked me if I will interview her for this TV series. So, of course, I said yes, didn't I? Thank you, Suzy Q. So, Suzy, I've got the questions and I'm going to put them to you. Okay, honey? Suzy Q. Where do you live? And what is it you do for a living, honey? It's Suzy Payton. Thank you, Polly. Thanks so much for coming on. Yes, I'm Suzy Payton and I live in Brighton, originally from Essex, but found my way down to Brighton when I went to university. Started off in Eastbourne and moved my way along the coast. What do I do? I'm a life coach for neurodivergent folk. So I support ADHDers, autistic people, dyslexic, and all of the kind of neurodivergencies that are usually all mixed up in one to make a wonderful human being. I help them to find their voice, to communicate their worth, to get unstuck, to stop procrastinating and start moving forward, to whatever they want to help with. I can help them break it down, really explore what's getting in the way and help them with a plan forward. So that's my coaching. Comedy improvisation, I've been performing for over 10 years, comedy improv, and I used to do stand-up as well. And more recently, I've been doing some amateur dramatics, so scripted plays. So improv is a pure passion of mine, where you make stuff up, you're creative and you're silly, and it's very funny and freeing. And I'm also a trainer, so I combine my coaching skills, my teaching skills. I was a teacher for 17 years before I started my own business. And my comedy skills to create really meaningful and bespoke training sessions. And that could be anything from improv for team building purposes, trust building, communication within teams. It could be for boundary setting and conflict resolution. So that's what I do in a nutshell. Wow, that's awesome, Suzy Q. You really are out there, aren't you? Suzy Q, you have ADHD and a few other things. So what led you to be diagnosed, honey? Yeah, it's Suzy, not Suzy Q. So yeah, well, what led me to my diagnosis? I have always struggled in school. I didn't fulfill my potential. I found listening and taking in information very, very difficult. So instead, I fooled around, terrorizing the teachers, encouraging friends to do things they possibly shouldn't. And I basically had a laugh in school. I was good at English and PE, but everything else I really struggled with, especially maths, which I still struggle with to this day. However, I've always been a strengths-focused person, so I always did what I loved. I loved sports, so I became a PE teacher. And I went into education, decided I didn't really want to be a PE teacher. And I was always drawn to work with those students that struggled to learn, struggled to stay still. You know, you must stay still, you're at school, goodness me. And I had an affinity with these students. I could really connect with them. And then as time went on and I learned more about autism, ADHD, learning differences, things started to make sense. And I realized, hold on a minute, this could be the root cause of my learning struggles. my sound sensitivities, how I can't hear if there's talking in the background, how, like, I literally can't hear, how I'm distracted by noises, by sights, by people, why I can't keep still, why I have to move around, I can't sit in a meeting, why I get very bored, why I zone out, so why I do lots of doodles. So things started to make sense, and eventually, about 10 or so years ago, I built up the courage to go for an assessment, where I was diagnosed with inattentive ADHD, clinically significant autistic traits, Tourette's syndrome, so tics, basically, which are involuntary. It's mild these days, so you probably wouldn't even know that I had it. Believe me, I still know. It takes some management, believe me, and mild OCD. So fast forward 15 or so years, and here I am supporting other neurodivergent folk. That is some story. Wow. Suzy Q, what is different for you now you know you have ADHD and all of these other spicy things? Yeah, thank you. It is Suzy, by the way. Yeah, thank you, Polly. So what is different now? Well, I have a level of self-acceptance and self-love that I didn't have when I was growing up. I always thought I was stupid, not quite good enough. I was really good at some things and not at others. I was really good at sports, terrible at maths. So my profile of abilities is what they call spiky. Really good at some things, really not good at others. So what's different now? Well, I treat myself well. I think nice thoughts about myself. If I mess up, if I forget somebody's birthday because it's not in the calendar, if I forget to reply to a message, if I forget to attend an appointment, I try not to give myself a hard time. I accept, okay, this is ADHD, this is not a character flaw, I didn't mean to miss that appointment or upset my friend for not texting back, that I am a good person, right? So it's about separating the struggles, the real challenges, from the personality. And I know that I'm a good person. So I've developed lots of coping strategies. Some I didn't realize were, and now I know I have ADHD and other things. I am able to help myself. I'll look online, I'll find apps that could help. And an app I'm using at the moment, I'm learning to use it. You know, you have to train yourself to use things, is called Water Do. It's like a to-do list, but it's not a to-do list. It's these bubbles that float around on the screen of things that you want to get done. And then you pop them when they're done. So it's quite beautiful. A bit of a buzz when you do it. But again, it's not enough just to know about an app. It's the training yourself to use it, or working with a coach to help you use it. Okay, so that's what's different. Yeah, that's priceless, honey. That is priceless. So, what are your strengths? What are you good at, honey? Yeah. So, yeah, it is Suzy. It's not Suzy Q. Okay. My strength. So I always think about strengths, whether it's about myself or people I'm working with. So my strengths are, I'm creative. So today I was thinking, oh, who will I get to interview me? Oh, maybe I won't do neuro-DTV today. And then my brain was like, yeah, call up Polly Parton, who's in Nashville, Tennessee. You, Polly, I knew you would help me out. So my creative brain comes up with solutions, sometimes without me even trying. So thank you for being here today, Polly. It's really helped me out. So thank you. I am creative in terms of comedy. I will kind of weave together ideas and make stuff up, you know, like playing, that it is playing, and come up with all sorts of ideas. You know, with comedy improv, you don't just have to be in the cafe down the road. You can be in a cafe on Mars. You can be speaking with your alien friends. You could be walking with dinosaurs. You could be holding on to a dinosaur, riding on its back. Yeah, so creative storytelling. What else am I good at? I am good at helping people feel at ease. I am good at knowing how to make people feel safe, allow people to feel safe in my presence. And that is because I don't judge people, because I have been judged, I've been misunderstood throughout my life. So I know what that feels like. So what am I good at? Not judging other people unfavorably. What else am I good at? Like I say, I'm very good at sports. Yes, brag. Well, I am the physical side of things. That was an interesting thing. When I was a PE teacher, I couldn't stand, I hated refereeing any kind of game. And of course, being a teacher, PE teacher, it's expected. Excuse me. And this was a struggle for me, let's say. Sometimes my brain takes a while to process what's happened. So if somebody's playing netball and they've what's the word? Traveling, you know, when you run with the ball or take a few steps, my brain wouldn't always see that happening until it had caught up. Therefore, and people be like, she just traveled. So anyway, I'm talking about strength. So physically, I'm good at sports, right? I am pretty good at writing once I can get into it. And I'm good at acting. There you go. There's a few. And being impulsive in improv is a good thing, right? You just say whatever's on your mind. So that's kind of a real ADHD strength when it comes to improv. You do not have to filter yourself. You do a bit. Wow, you are some creative person, ain't you? I love it. I'm creative too. I mean, I sing here in Nashville all the time, you know. I mean, not on the big stage, but hey, I'm happy. Looks like you are too, sweetheart. Suzy Q, tell us a funny story that can be attributed to ADHD in some way. I know you've got some. We've talked about them before. Come on, spill the beans. Yeah. Yes, Polly, it's Suzy. All right. I have told you a few funny stories, and one that springs to mind is when I was working. I think I was working in London years ago, and I was wandering around. I must have had time off or some, I don't know, lunch break, I don't know, wandering around near the Trocadero, and then all of a sudden somebody kind of appears out of nowhere, magical, and she says, would you like to take part in our live 24-hour bikini wax? As many people we can do in 24 hours. Impulsively, I was just like, yeah, didn't even think. I don't think I even processed what she said. And the next thing I know, she's kind of leading me up all of these stairs near the Trocadero. And then all of a sudden it was like, there you go and see the nurse, make sure you've got enough growth. Turned out I did have enough growth. Next thing I know, I'm literally being shoved into a TV studio live TV, having a bikini wax done. Afterwards, I was like, what just happened? This was due to ADHD, impulsivity, saying yes without thinking it through. I know. Oh my God, Suzy Q. Wow. I am shocked. I do not know what to say. I would never do that on live TV. So, Suzy Q, what helps you? What helps you manage your day-to-day life with ADHD and your other conditions, honey? What helps me? What helps me? Many things, some which I've spoken about, but here's a key top tip. So if I make an appointment with somebody, I have to put it into my calendar that's synced to my online calendar, my phone calendar, and I have to do it straight away. Whenever I say to myself, I'll put that in later, or I'll remember that I'm meeting them tomorrow, 9.5 times out of 10, I will not remember, because my short-term memory, my working memory is flawed, basically. Okay, so to overcome that, I must put things in straight away. That could even be an action like, oh, I need to email so and so later, put it in the diary so that it's there and it comes up as a reminder, and also as a backup on my What to Do app as well. So if I dismiss the reminder thinking, oh yeah, I'm busy, it's there on my app as well, What to Do. So write things down, put them in the diary or on the calendar, whatever way you record your life, straight away. Okay, because it's a massive thing with us neurodivergent folk, that our working memory does not serve us very well. Okay, so that's what helped me, as well as working with coaches, getting support from family. So yeah. Awesome. So you found some ways, and you've worked with other people too to help you. Nice, nice. Suzy Q, last question. Sorry, I don't mean to keep calling you that, but the more you get annoyed with it, the more I keep talking. I'm sorry. Suzy, what would you say to somebody who's just been diagnosed and feels a little lost and confused? Okay, Polly, I really appreciate you working with me today, but it's Suzy Payton. It is not Suzy Q. Anyway, thanks, Polly. What would I say to somebody that's just been diagnosed? I would say you're still you. You're still your wonderful, lovely, fantastic, quirky, creative self. Okay, you're still you. Now you have some answers. Use the information you've got, find out about ADHD, find out how it affects you, recognize that everybody is different. So what works for one person may not work for you. Okay, that's key. And also surround yourself, find the positive people that are going to help you and lift you up. Okay, it's not very healthy to say, oh, I've got ADHD and my memory's rubbish. I'll never be able to do, maths. Uh, maths comes up a lot. So it's about saying, yeah, I've got this. I have challenges. I have so many strengths, and I'm going to play to my strengths to help me overcome my challenges. So find people that lift you up. And on that note, play to your strengths. Okay, whether it's in your work, whether it's, I don't know, let's talk about work, can't think. A job for me is never going to be sitting there doing data entry. It's boring. It's sitting in one place, or you could stand like I am now. And I'm going to miss details. Why would I do that job? I'm not. What I'm doing is doing the things I love and the things I'm good at. But don't be careful. Don't just do the things you're good at, because you get stuck with doing things you're good at that you don't necessarily love. So find out what you love, find out what you're passionate about, and do more of it, because that will build you up, build up your self-esteem, your confidence, and it makes the challenges so much easier to deal with. So that's my piece of advice. Thanks, Polly, for stepping in and doing this. It's been great to speak to you. Cheers. Oh, Suzy, such beautiful words of wisdom. I'm so glad you called me up and asked me to do the interview for you, honey, because this has just been a real eye-opener, and it's so lovely to hear that, you know, the way you want to help people and everything you do. So thank you so much. Now, if you want to tag me in this post and get people to listen to my music, then please do. Thank you, Suzy Q. Thanks for having me on. Mwah.